The final day of the NFL Combine is in the books. That's the defensive backs, corners, and safeties. We'll break down the winners and losers from the day 4 of the Combine momentarily. But first, if you haven't already, time to go check out our winners and losers from the previous 3 days. We got 3 videos already up. Day 1, QBs, receivers, and tight ends. Day 2, that was the running backs and offensive linemen. And then day 3, headlined by Freak Jordan Davis, was defensive line and linebackers. Those links to those 3 videos will be in both the comment section and in the description. All right, let's get into the winners and losers then. First up, Tariq Woolen, who we warned you guys was going to test really well, and then he exceeded those expectations. Now, as we sit here filming this, either very few corners did the agility drills, which is very possible, or the NFL just hasn't uploaded them or updated them. Tariq Woolen, as it sits right now, based on the relative athletic scores that MathBomb, Kent Lee Platt does for his website and social media, this is the greatest tester at cornerback in Combine history, factoring in the size. 6'4" and change, 205, ran a 4.26 40-yard dash. Also at a 42 vert, the highest of this year's Combine. Insane testing. I had mocked Tariq Woolen in round 2 of my pre-Combine mock draft because I thought he was going to test like this. And even though he's still raw and not there yet as a corner, you always bet on that level of athletic ability. Not to be that far outdone, a name that, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I wasn't that familiar with, Zyon McCollum, because I don't watch very much Sam Houston State. McCollum did all of the drills, minus the bench. 6'2", 200 pounds, 4.33 40-yard dash, and elite testing in everything. Had it not been for Tariq Woolen, this would have been your new leader among corners in the Combine history. What he did is nothing short of incredible. Given the size, the arm length's not great, but given the athletic testing, someone's probably going to take this kid top 100. I want you now to name a Day 4 Combine winner. We've got plenty more names we're going to get to here momentarily. So head down to the comments section. Drop a name, or if you want to be an overachiever, mention multiple names for me like I'm doing on this video. This is the pinned comments on today's vid. So if you get the ad break on YouTube, I'll take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know who your biggest winner or winners from Day 4 of the Combine are. Sauce Gardner, next up here out of Cincinnati, entering the Combine. There were questions from people, even though he was widely mocked as a number 1, number 2 corner off the board. Just how fast was he? Answer is really fast. 4.41 40-yard dash at almost 6'3", with long arms, 33.5 inches. There were those questions out there about the speed, and he answered those with ease, even as the track this year at Indy seemed maybe a little bit too fast. Either way, Gardner, I think he's going top 10. I think he's going to be an early round 1 pick. I do think he's the first corner off the board. But what do you guys think? As we'll get to Derek Stingley later on in today's video. Will Sauce be the first corner taken? Y for yes or N for no? Alontae Taylor next up here, the Tennessee corner. And I haven't gotten around to Taylor quite yet, but he tested pretty damn well himself. 6 foot, almost 200 pounds. A little 6 foot and change, I should say. The vert did not start off great. I was like, normally when you don't have a great vert, you're not going to test that well at the 40. He ran a 4.36. Great broad jump as well. So maybe he just didn't have a great vertical practice or whatever. Great testing here for Alontae Taylor. This is a potential, mid-late day 2, I think at worst early day 3 type of prospect. Let's not forget the Baylor defensive backs, the 2 that ran, at least well. We'll get to Jalen Petrie later on. Kalon Barnes was this close to setting the Combine 40-yard dash record, a 4.23 for Boogie Barnes. And JT Woods, the safety, 4.36, also tested really well. I remember it was in office or on one of the videos we did here for some capacity chat sports. I said Baylor brought a track team. They absolutely did this year. Good news, everyone. NFL Daily is now also on Rumble, a video platform service that well, they won't censor me as much if I drop F-bombs for whatever reason here. So, go follow us and support us at rumble.com/NFL Daily. We'll put the link in the comment section and in the description. Let's head to the safeties now, starting with Lewis Cine, and I'll make note that I'm not even talking that much about other guys like Jaquan Brisker, Daxton Hill, who tested really well, as expected. Cine was even better than the high expectations he had coming into the combine. 6'2" and change, just under 200 pounds, a 4.37 40-yard dash. If you're searching for a true free safety, Cine does fit that mold. He is not going to be the first safety off the board like one notable draft guy, Jim Nagy, suggested, but he's going to be, I think, a top 50 pick. Nick Cross out of Maryland, who was hyped as, hey, this guy's going to test really well. He did. Awesome production out of Cross. Florida fans, understandably, in shambles over that one. 6'2", 4.34 40-yard dash. I'm a big fan of this safety class, as I seemingly always end up being. Looking for free safeties, this is a good prospect. All right, Marquise Bell, the former Maryland transfer, now at Florida A&M. Elite logo with the Rattlers, by the way. Again, great testing, right? 4.41 at 212, 6'2", by the way. Now, the agility only did the short shuttle. Not good there. Potential red flag in terms of being quicker than he is straight line speed, but I do think Bell should be drafted. There's been a light run of this level of prospect, HBCU guys, being drafted. Well, Bell should be one of those players picked in this year's draft. If you have not already, I am once again asking you to subscribe on YouTube for free NFL videos every single day. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. And those videos also available on Rumble. The link is below. We just launched our channel over there. Go support us. Rumble.com/NFL Daily. I want to spend some time now talking about Kyle Hamilton, who did not run the 40 that I was hoping he was going to run. And the agility drills were just okay. The three-cone was, honestly, going sub-7 for a 6'4", 220 guy it's actually a really good three-cone number for Kyle Hamilton. I wanted him to run sub-5. Disappointed he did not do that. Make no mistake, this is still one of the best prospects in this year's draft. As disappointing as that, 40-yard dash was, we're still talking about a 90th percentile athlete at safety, factoring in the size and the height and weight. Like, this guy's a freak. I think Hamilton is still the best prospect in this year's draft. Apologies to guys like Thibodeau, Hutchinson, Evan Neal, Ika Mikwanu. I think he's a stud. So who is your best prospect in this year's draft? Time to talk losers. That's how life works. And pretty much all of the guys on this list, I'm actually a big personal fan of. I love Jalen Petrie. I think he should go top 50, top 60 picks. Did not run the 40-yard dash. Came in fairly small, as expected. The three-cone is so appealing, though. But when all these safeties are putting up, off-the-charts testing, I kind of wish Petrie had been able to run. Kirby Joseph, another one of my guys at safety, he didn't run, but had good jumps, dealing with a hamstring issue right now. If Petrie slides, someone's going to get a stud. I thought he had a great Senior Bowl, had a great year at Baylor as well. Let's have the Derek Stingley conversation. We had the Kayvon Thibodeau one on day 3. Stingley unable to work out due to a foot injury. I don't want to ding players for being hurt. I will make note that he was, at least it was announced at the Combine by Ian Rappaport, that he was cleared to return. Stingley had said he's ahead of schedule. The timing says that's not actually the case of him being ahead of schedule. So, everyone always says they're ahead of schedule. The interviews are pivotal for Stingley because he checked in with smaller than ideal arms, sub 31 inches. Teams care about that. It's not a massive red flag. It is for other prospects we'll get to, but it's not ideal. As Ahmad Gardner balls out at the Combine, amid the questions about Stingley's health, the medical and the interviews are a big deal, a far bigger deal than him being out there. I think if you were on the fence about Gardner versus Stingley as to who was CB1, which I think there were some teams out there, probably lean more towards Gardner. I'd still take Stingley top 5. I'm not going to overthink that prospect, but we know NFL teams do it all the time. So pick one for me. AG for Ahmad Gardner, or DS for Derek Stingley? I'll take an L on this one myself. Kyler Gordon out of Washington. The expectations, the hype for Kyler Gordon was that he was going to test like Byron Jones. He didn't come close to it. A 4.52 40-yard dash was, if you had told me he's going to run closer to a 4.32, I would have said, oh yeah, no doubts about it. And you're in a 4.52. He did no other drills, no broad, no jump, nothing of the hypeness for an elite athlete. That was disappointing for Kyler Gordon. And now you begin to wonder, was he hurt or was he overhyped? The round one buzz was based around expectations Gordon was going to ball out at the combine. He did not do that. His teammate now, Washington Trent McDuffie. Cannot wait for teams to overthink McDuffie, by the way. Someone will get a steal. Solid 4.44 40-yard dash. A lot of fours right there. It's not necessarily fair, but teams do value this. He checked in with small arms, sub-30-inch arms. There will be teams out there who view McDuffie as only a nickel corner, regardless of how impressive he was and sticky he was in coverage at Washington. That is a 5th percentile arm length. That number based since 1999 at the Combine, and some pro days mixed in there too. It's not great. The film's awesome, though. So, yeah, McDuffie's got short arms. He should be a top 3 corner taken in this year's class, or teams are being stupid. I want you now to name a Day 4 Combine loser. It's just how life works. There are winners and there are losers. So it's okay. You can be mean in the comments. Drop a name for me down there right now. Roger McCreary out of Auburn, to a lesser extent, has some of the similar issues as Trent McDuffie, or maybe to a different extent. We knew he had short arms, so I'm not dinging McCreary for that. We knew that he's got the second shortest arm length among corners since 1999 at sub-29 inches. He only ran a 4.5 40-yard dash, which teams like to have thresholds. That 40 at his size and arm length is going to ding him in the end. But I think he goes up the board early round 2. Somebody is going to get an awesome corner that makes you go, why did this guy fall? Well, sometimes teams like to overthink things. My last loser, Jermaine Waller out of Virginia Tech. 180 pounds, 4.68 40. Yeah, that's going to have him off the boards for at least some NFL teams out there. Sorry, bud.